Right, today I'm going on a little walk. My little walks are probably a little bit longer than other people's little walks. I'll say I'm going on a quest. It's not exactly a quest, because a quest to me would be when you're trying to find something, or yeah, anyway. And there's kind of a minute possibility that you won't find it, or in the case of the Kithurst Hill tank, I was 18 months late. That's, yeah, old story. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to dedicate this video to a lovely friend that I've known for, let me think, I've known her since 1989. We started off, I used to write lots of letters, and had lots of pen friends, and I was, yeah, it's basically, I knew lots of people who knew this lady, and then I wrote a letter to her, little realising that little 19-year-old me would still be friends with her all these years later, and living just down the road from her. So we used to live in London, both of us. She lived in Hounslow and I lived in, gosh, I was doing my nurse training then, so I was at Whipps Cross in the East End of London, and every Wednesday night, yeah, starting the following year, because we met up for the first time the following way, obviously hit it off, yeah, we used to go have our nights in Soho. We'd meet up at Green Park Station, because she came from Hounslow and I used to get a tube from Walthamstow Central. And so we just thought, okay, we'll meet up there. We always walked up to Piccadilly Circus and just did a bit of a pub crawl every Wednesday night. So I would always, I remember when the rotas came out, when I was on the wards, I'd always request not to be working on Wednesday evening, Wednesday night if I was doing night duty, and or a Thursday morning. So, and the thing is, I think I always got it because, no one else had that strange request. Possibly meant I worked more weekends, I don't know. I always remember having weekends off though, so I don't know, maybe I was just lucky. But anyway, the issue regarding Facebook and whatever, which I may or may not sort out, who knows. I have problems communicating with certain people, because that was my main source of communicating with some people, so I just kind of decided I'm going to write a letter, because we used to write letters, even when we were meeting up we'd still write letters, and we occasionally, like birthdays and Christmas and whatever, we might write a short note, but we obviously do meet up. But this is the thing, because Tina went on a trip around the world in the 90s, and when she came back, she settled on the south coast. So I was still living in London, and then I moved up to Hertfordshire, and then back to London, and yeah, so it's just really funny. We're not that far. We used to do pub quizzes and stuff together. So anyway, actually I won't show you the front. The front has actually got her address on it, so I won't show the front. But that's, yeah. But I used to, yeah, I've got all these stickers, and it's like old days. Yeah, so this, I'm actually going to, she lives about 6 or 7 miles away, because I've got to go around the coast, and I've worked out kind of a height and whatever, so it's going to be about 14.5 miles. And setting out a bit later than I wanted to, because it's now 11 o'clock. So actually that's not a problem. So it might be dusk by the time it depends on how many stops I have and whatever. I know this route so well. What I always do when I do this sort of thing, I'm going to walk around the coast up to where she lives, and then round via different routes, or more inland, back home. So yeah, I'm setting out later today because it was raining a little bit. I mean, I don't usually wimp out when it rains. I mean, if I was on an organised hike, I would, or I was doing a trail, and time was more important, I would set out when it was still raining. But I kind of decided, I didn't really fancy it. So, but anyway, gonna get on. And yeah, just think, what's that movie that came out a couple of years ago? Harold Fry. Unexpected something, I don't know, when he walked to the post box to post a letter and ended up the other side of the country. Not quite as far for me, but I'm kind of doing the same thing. Well, kind of, but I have set out, you know, I don't aim to, my ambition wasn't to actually post this letter. I mean, you know, the price of postage these days, who writes blooming letters anyway these days, they don't hand deliver. So I guess, yeah, the whole concept, it's a shame really, you know, because at Penfriends, we didn't have the option of emailing people because emails didn't exist when I, you know, when I was a teenager. So, yeah, so before even leaving home, my ambition is to actually hand deliver anyway. So, yeah, off we go. Usually go whizzing past. If this is a plantation, and this is the Ilex Avenue down there, similar sort of trees. Can't remember what they're called. I think they're Mediterranean. Actually, are these? I don't know. But yeah, the tree tunnel that I went through definitely, yeah, aren't native where they are now. Getting about to those turntable routes. So, and they're beautiful. Yeah, talking about beauty, bluebells, daffodils, whatever. Yeah, they're very beautiful. They're very beautiful. I saw my first daisies today. Isn't that lovely? You know, it's lovely walking across here, but it's not completely waterlogged, which it is pretty much every single winter, all through the winter. Right, just coming up to silly little man feeding the seagulls and all the other birds, so I'm going to have to divert. You know, that you don't do that. Sad as it is, you do not feed. Yeah, that's... Yeah, it's like The Birds, isn't it? The movie, the Hitchcock movie.